Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hope you guys are doing well. Before we get into this video, I just want to say thank you to all of the recent subscribers. We've had a fair few new subs come over in the last week or so. I'm not sure why, as I've not been as active as I'd like to be, but I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys coming over. Hopefully you enjoy the content. And as always, you know, the regulars out there, the guys who watch all the time, again, your support is greatly appreciated. So whether you've been here 5 minutes or months and months and months, thank you for the support. It really does go a long way and it means a lot. So thank you guys very much. But on to the boxing. This Saturday, Callum Smith versus John Ryder goes down at the Echo Arena in Liverpool. Callum Smith obviously defending his WBA super middleweight title, and this is his second defence of that belt. And this fight has actually gone under the radar, maybe because the punters don't see it as a particularly competitive fight, or maybe it's because Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz are rematching this weekend, and that is obviously a bigger fight. There's a couple of things that you could take into account, but the fight has certainly gone under the radar. And while I think we are all confident Callum Smith wins, I don't think it's a terrible fight for a regular Sky Sports card, to be honest. And the card itself is actually quite decent for a regular Sky Sports show. You've got James Tennyson versus Craig Evans. That's a good fight at lightweight at domestic level. That should be a fun fight. You have Craig Glover versus Chris Billam-Smith at cruiserweight. Again, another solid domestic fight. And even Anthony Fowler versus Harry Scarf. That's a half decent fight as well. So the card itself is pretty good, I've got to say. And yeah, decent card for a regular Sky Sports show. But the main event, let's talk about it. I make Callum Smith a huge favourite in this fight. I would be very surprised if he lost this bout. I've seen a few people online suggest that this could be a banana skin, or that the upset is on the cards. And while I do rate John Ryder, I think John Ryder has some underrated skills. He's a very good inside fighter. He's nice and compact. He's got underrated power. And he's actually on the best run of his career to date. So Ryder's going into this fight with momentum and with confidence and an underrated skill set, but I just don't see him as the type of fighter who will upset Callum Smith. I don't think he's got it in him to make this fight his fight, if that makes sense. How can John Ryder successfully close the distance and work on Callum Smith's chest throughout this fight? Because he's not winning a boxing match on the outside. You can forget that right now. Not that John Ryder can't box, he can box at a decent level, but Callum Smith is genuine world level at 168 and he is humongous. 6'3" with a 78-inch reach, whereas John Ryder is 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. John Ryder much shorter and shorter arms as well. He can't win the boxing match from the outside, not just because of the physical disadvantages, that obviously doesn't help, but Callum Smith has a good long range game. When he throws that jab out there, he's got a nice 1-2, and he actually does a decent job of managing distance. If he chooses to make this a boxing match and box a kind of systematic fight from the outside, I think John Ryder will really have problems. If that is the case, obviously John Ryder is going to, he's going to want to get on the inside, and, he'll try and get low, he'll try and get underneath Callum Smith's shots, and he'll try and close the distance with quick feet. And he can do that, but one thing about Callum Smith, yes, he's tall, yes, he's long, but, he's actually good at mid-range as well. So Callum Smith can really shorten up his punches to catch you coming in. He's a very astute counter-puncher, and if you try to rush Callum Smith, you could be on the end of that short right hand or that left hook. So John Ryder, obviously he needs to get to the inside, but he needs to worry about how he does it, because he could easily walk into a counter shot from Callum Smith. Callum Smith, for me, has very underrated timing. He's a good counter puncher, like I said, particularly with the left hook and that chopping right hand. And he could easily time John Ryder coming in. So John Ryder, he can't box on the outside with Callum Smith. He needs to get on the inside, but getting on the inside will pose some danger. And obviously, even if he gets to the inside, It's not like Callum Smith can't fight up close. He can. He's not great at it by any means, but he can fight on the inside. And while Ryder is more skilled than Smith on the inside, that's one area where Ryder is definitely better. He's more skilled than Smith on the inside, but is he sufficiently more skilled that he will offset that massive size disadvantage? Because yeah, you could get on the inside against Callum Smith if you're John Ryder, but that's a big dude you're on the inside against. That guy's going to be leaning all on you, really, utilising his size, tying you up, and obviously hitting you with his own shots. Maybe even on the inside, Callum Smith, due to size, strength, and punching power, maybe Callum Smith could still get the better of John Ryder even on the inside, despite Ryder being more skilled on the inside. That's one thing people don't get. I've seen people say, well, size shouldn't matter if you're more skilled than the other guy. Man, size matters at some point, and the size disparity in this fight is huge. It really is huge. If you don't think that plays a factor in a fight, you're crazy. Yes, Ryder's a better inside fighter, but is he that much better where he can get on the inside against a bigger guy who can punch, who's strong, and have success and outbox him on the inside? I'm not sure about that. I think John Ryder needs to fight the fight of his life, and Callum Smith needs to fight the worst fight of his life for John Ryder to have a chance. Not even win, to have a chance. I really believe John Ryder is on a hiding to nothing here. I really don't give him much chance at all. If you are asking me to make an official pick, I would say Callum Smith by knockout in rounds 6 to 8. I believe John Ryder will soak up some punishment. He'll go in there to win. He'll land some shots, but ultimately it won't be enough, and eventually he'll become tired, he'll become more stationary, and he'll succumb to the power, the superior size, and underrated boxing skills of Callum Smith. So I've got Callum Smith by a knockout in rounds 6 to 8. I just can't see John Ryder winning this fight. Having said that, you would think by saying that I would have a problem with this fight. I don't really. I think John Ryder, to be honest, like I said, he's coming off the best form of his career. I mean, he arguably deserves a title shot, in my opinion at least. So I'm not mad with this fight. I just think it's a bad style matchup for John Ryder. I think John Ryder would have had a better chance in a rematch against Billy Joe Saunders, for example, in comparison to Callum Smith. But, John Ryder, like I said, coming off some good wins, coming off some good momentum. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve this fight. I just think it's a bad style matchup for him. But, a world title fight on regular Sky Sports, it's a rare thing these days. So I'm not mad at it. I will certainly watch it. I don't think I'm doing anything this weekend. So if I'm in, I'll definitely watch this fight. And obviously, we will make a post-fight video for it. And like I said, the card's not bad. So I'm okay with this. Share your thoughts below. How do you feel about this fight? How do you feel about this card? Share your thoughts below. Peace.